Yeah, Sandstorm. Yeah, put your hands up. Classical. Bob your head to this. SC Cap G. Hey, it's me. Starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy. Yeah. Hey, yeah, Sandstorm. Yeah, put your hands up. Classical. Bob your head to this. SC Cap G. Hey, it's me. Starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, yeah, starting on my grizzy, yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, I'm starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, I'm starting on my grizzy, Come in the club, yeah, I'm high as height. Seeing all the flashing lights, it's Vegas night. Step through, suited up like a crime fight. You know that I wanna leave with a dime, right? Spanish, Latina, tengo la llave. Wanna roll Cap G, you can come find me. VIP drinks free, that's where I be. Yeah, I roll with them boys, not Tommy. Straight tone, got me in the zone. You texting your man, once you get off the phone. I'm in here looking for a dime to bone and tell him I can spit on some reggaeton. Starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, yeah, starting on my grizzy, yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, I'm starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, I'm starting on my grizzy,
Oye, dime quién responde, ese culo tuyo enorme. Freca necia, cara bonita, labio de fresa. Y yo vine para atrás, chequea este flow que te no he copiado nada. I be standing on my greasy, tengo un par de tipas que no lo fuerza tan easy. Dame un beso, olvídate de eso, lo que quiero es sexo. Estoy en el bloque, prendo un Dodge y me voy en el coche. Regresé con mi equipo blanco, peligroso, no perico. A lot of niggas con mi chico, cara bonita, no sencillo. Muchos me dicen clásico, es peligroso, un maniático. Y todos ustedes son mi hijo, cause I make it look easy, frito.
Starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, yeah, starting on my grizzy, yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, I'm starting on my grizzy, yeah, starting on my grizzy, I'm starting on my grizzy,
Yeah.
Hey class, they ain't hear nothing like this.
Hell no, my nigga.
Yeah. That's when the different cultures collide.
They know.
Yeah. Sandstorm, classical. Yeah, man. Shout out to Cam, Daryl, oh boy Matt, D Money, Single Dollar, the whole Skywalking crew. Hey, what up, Bangs? We here now.
Yes, we are.
So come find us.
Yeah.
Tú lo sabes.
We're the building. SC got cheese, nigga. If you don't like it, no te lo comas. Wanna be too very, motherfucker. Estamos aquí sonando.
And what is going on? What's up, everybody? This is another episode of the House of Fandom, and I'm your host, Clark, on the check-in, and I'm joined by my amazing co-host, starting off with Tank. What's up, Tank? How's your day going, brother?
It's going good, going good. It's Friday tomorrow, so it's always good.
Right.
It's always good.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, Friday's coming, man. It's there, and it's gonna be a nice little long weekend, hopefully for many. And how can I forget, Mr. Danny? What is going on, brother? Looking crisp as well.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. It's always going to be a good night. House of Fandom starting now. Let's get into it.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, first off, let me just say, just a couple of things. One, you had a great opportunity yesterday. Talk to us a little bit about that. You were able to visit another channel show, and it's called the. If you want to go ahead and just give us the name of the channel, and what did you guys talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a great opportunity to be a guest on the show for Six Scale Scavengers. As you guys can probably tell, I'm a big enthusiast when it comes to the hobby of high-end collectibles. So that is a channel dedicated simply to collectors like myself. I started off just as a fan of their work and what they do, and they asked me to join them for an episode, and I couldn't turn down the offer. So we talked about figures that are going to be released in the near future off the hype of Justice League that we just came off of. And I just had a great opportunity to sit down with some really nice guys that I definitely admire the work they do. So shout out goes out to Brian Fontaine, Chris Letty, and TC over there at Six Scale Scavengers. We appreciate you having me out there, and it was a total blast, and we'd love to do that again sometime.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of, tuning in yesterday, I had an opportunity to check it out. These guys are like the experts of just complete collectible fandom. Like, they love to talk about, like, really awesome, like, high-end collectibles. Is that the proper way of kind of describing it, Danny?
Yeah, I mean, their channel is basically for fans of the community, of the collective community there, and it's really more of a channel for fans, by fans kind of thing. And, what they like to do on their side of things, they like to give people who are either in the hobby as a beginner or someone who's been in there, just give some good advice to just kind of go through the mass amounts of options that are out there and find the right options for the right people. So They're a very affordable group. They're extremely well spoken, and they have a very loyal fan base. So again, we thank them for having us there yesterday.
Yeah, no doubt, and we appreciate it. I know that they did give us a shout out, so definitely appreciate the support. It's always amazing and awesome when you have, fellow podcasters that have had a level of success, reach out and really support, these up and comers like ourselves, here at Lights Up Productions, House of Fandom. So once again, thanks again to the team over at Six Scavengers. Is that correct?
Six Scale Scavengers.
Six Scale Scavengers. If you guys get a chance, we'll go ahead and have a link in the in our profile showcasing it. If you're looking at amazing collectibles of figures from movies and all kinds of different DC, Marvel, you name it, they're going to be reviewing it, they're going to be talking about it. So pretty cool stuff. All right, gentlemen, let's get down to the, you notice I took my Superman glasses off, my Clark Kent glasses off. That's I'm a gangster like that. That's how I gotta do it. I'm getting serious now.
I almost didn't recognize you. I was like, where did Clark go?
I'm getting serious. So one thing I just want to say, thanks to Maura, who's in the chat room as our moderator. We definitely appreciate you. She was a great moderator in the chat room for the Townie Sports Show that happened on Tuesday. So really appreciate you, Maura, for taking the time out of your day to be able to, just make sure that we have an awesome interactive chat room. So thank you for that. And thanks for all the listeners who are out there. I see you, Mac J. I see you, Cliff Bravo. I see all the people that I've commented. Thank you. And let's get started, man. So 1 week goes by and now another Suicide Squad trailer. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, this one kind of dropped out of nowhere, Clark. I mean, we just got that trailer last week alone. So the movie doesn't come out until August. So this was a big surprise, and I'm so glad we were able to squeeze this in onto the show, because this next trailer, I mean, you guys take a look for yourself and tell us what you think in the comments below. But yeah, this movie looks like it's gonna be a big deal.
All right, let's go ahead and play it. Let's check it out.
Super villains. Sad souls in costumes. Wanting you to think they're all dark and deep. What's it like? Living life as a punchline. But all it would take would be one blessed act of rebellion for you to restore your dignity in its entirety.
You know the deal. Complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence. You fail to follow my orders in any way, and I detonate the explosive device in the base of your skull.
Love him or hate him, these are your brothers and sisters for the next few days.
Any questions?
And?
Yes, that is your hand. Very good.
We're all gonna die.
I hope so.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, that's kind of our thing.
What the?
Nothing like a bloodbath to start the day.
They call you Peacemaker?
I cherish peace with all my heart. I don't care how many men, women, and children I need to kill to get it.
I thought you were the crazy one.
I am.
Here's the deal. We fail the mission, you die.
If we find out any information you give us is false, you die.
If we find out you have personalized license plates, you die.
What? No.
There you have it, folks. Trailer number 2 for Suicide Squad by James Gunn. I don't know about you guys. That second trailer, I didn't need it, but boy, I am grateful we got it because that was amazing. Tank, tell me, you being a big DC fan, obviously Clark's a big DC fan. I want to lead her off with you first here. I mean, what was your first impression when you saw that trailer?
It's the kind of thing you said. I wasn't asking for it. I was hyped enough with the first one, but that one even made more hype. Especially seeing it again, like they're actually showing a bunch of the guys' powers. Especially since like this is more obscure cast like of DC characters that I didn't fully know a lot about. Like them showing like with some of their powers, like Polka Dot Man just throwing bunch of multicolored polka dots at someone. It's real. It seems like it's real action heavy. Which James. Like I said, it's James Gunn, so that's always going to be dope. But yeah, that has me. I was already excited. I'm like over the moon for it now.
Absolutely, I'm definitely psyched about this movie. Clark, what about you? What was your impression of the trailer?
So for me, I gotta say I was impressed. It looks batshit crazy. I mean, it really does. And that's amazing because it really should be. And so a couple of things I want to unpack from this, and or as I would say, let's unpeel this movie onion here. So check this out. What I want to know is a few things. One, they got a damn freaking starfish kaiju. What the hell? I'm like, what is going on? Like, that was pretty awesome. The other thing I want to ask you guys is that John Cena, are you buying it? I'm curious.
Yeah, I guess I'll go first on that one. I mean, John Cena is doing his best to become a movie actor, former WWE champion. Honestly, he's been pretty decent in some of his movies. He hasn't been great. He's no Dwayne The Rock Johnson by any stretch of imagination, but for every movie John Cena's done, I mean, he's gotten a little bit better. And I kind of like his character for some of the lines that I'm hearing in the trailer there. I mean, he seems like he's going to be batshit crazy, but he's 100% patriotic, and I think it's just a great opposite between values and what he's actually doing out there. So this should be pretty interesting. Tank, what do you think about this?
Yeah, like I said, a few years ago when John Cena was like first starting out, I wasn't, really a fan. But like, especially like, for some reason, even though he's like from WWE and a wrestler, he doesn't really do it for me in like action movies. But like the comedies I've seen him do, he's been like hilarious.
He's got some range, right?
Yeah, he got some range. And like this character, like he's like a demented Captain America kind of.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I think it's gonna do great. Like it seems like he's getting all the right comedy cues and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool. I do like the actress that was in I Am Legend. She's a really great actress. She's in one of my favorite shows called Queen of the South. I don't know if you gentlemen have ever tried or rather saw that show, Queen of the South. If you have not, it's a great show. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but never got around to seeing it. I might have to check it out.
She plays basically she's the boss of the drug she's a drug lord, and then it shows her rise to becoming a huge drug lord, and it's amazing the story arc that she has. But if you ever get a chance, but of course you remember her from I Am Legend. She was the lady who met up with Will Smith's character during the middle to end of the movie, and she was with the little boy, and so she's a great actress. I saw her on. What character do you think she's playing?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question. I mean, it doesn't really reveal too much in the trailer over there, so I don't think she's actually part of the team. I could be totally wrong about that, but she might be working on the other side because I think we saw some military type figures in that trailer as well too. So she might be a double agent helping out the Suicide Squad. But yeah, that's a good point there, Clark. Tank, you got any guesses on who she might be playing?
I had to look it up. I know she's like part. She actually is part of the Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what her name is because, like I said, they're so obscure in this one.
Yeah.
But no, I know that she's actually is a part of the Suicide Squad. I just don't remember exactly what her name is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the scene stealer of the first Red Band trailer that we premiered on House of Fandom last week, but also again, I mean, the classic line. Hand. I mean, it's just like, yes, that's your hand. Like, I think that's amazing. For those of you that don't know the shark, the voice of the shark is the one and only Sylvester Stallone. What do you guys think of the character?
Oh, I love King Shark. He's especially I'm more newer to it being his fan because like from the Harley Quinn show, and then also the Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. He was in that as well. And his character, he was hilarious in that. He was more like in that one. He was more of a I am Groot because all he said is all he would say was King Shark is a shark. That's all he would say the whole movie until the end when he actually said something. But yeah, I mean, and it seems like they're going, because they like later on they've gone more a comedic role with King Shark and like the shows and the shows he's been in. Mm-hmm. But I know like he was more serious in like the comics before. But it seems like they're going more with the comedic role, which I do love.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Hey, look, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that that it's a good movie because we all know what trailers can do. And then we end up with trash. I mean, I'm hoping that it's going to be good. I mean, James Gunn has proven his worth many times over, obviously, with the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. So it'll be very interesting to see how he pulls this off. 100%.
I think one thing that's even better than the first one is that, like, I remember in the first trailer, it was, they, all action, had nothing but action and the funny one-liners, but I didn't know who the villain was at all from the trailers. Right. At least this one, we have, some inkling of who the villain is and what the end, like what it's going to be.
Yeah,
right.
I think that's a good point there, Tank, because, Suicide Squad did amazing at the box office, but it was destroyed by critics and fans everywhere there. So, I think this is really, they wanted to give us these trailers. This is just my theory, just 2 trailers in 2 weeks. I think they really wanted to build off the goodwill they had from the Snyder Cut release. And also at the same time, they want to let everybody know, hey, listen, we learned a lesson from the first movie. We do not want to make that mistake again. We took on an amazing director like James Gunn, who has amazing work that he's done with the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. And it seems like he's following that template. I mean, I couldn't help but notice that, okay, we have John Cena, like you mentioned, Tank. We have Dave Bautista, who plays Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy. We have King Shark now, who's now voiced by Sylvester Stallone. Mm-hmm. We have Vin Diesel, who was Groot in that same other series there that we're talking about. So I think he's playing with the formula he created in Guardians of the Galaxy. And if you're a fan of it, I think you're really going to be just as satisfied with this one as well. My thing that I'm really curious about, because the Suicide Squad is built solely on people dying on the team during the mission. And the last one that we had, we didn't have any named like heroes, or should I say villains, who actually died in that movie. Do you guys want to take a guess on who do you think is going to die in this next one? Because someone is definitely going. It's not a Suicide Squad without somebody dying.
Well, I'm hoping that it's that guy from Saturday Night Live first.
Yeah, Pete Davidson. I was going to say it's like going to be Pete Davidson's character. If I see that the weasel thing, the little weasel.
Yeah, thank you, Rocket Raccoon. I completely forgot about that one. Yeah, so it's that that rat, I think, is played by James Gunn's brother, who actually did the CGI caption motion for Rocket Raccoon as well. So yeah.
Nice, yeah, but yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, I think Pete Davidson's character definitely, and then they'll probably kill off that Weasel. Then it will suck, but maybe even what's his name, Michael Roker. I feel like because he doesn't he doesn't seem to be like in a lot of the action scenes. I don't see him, so I feel like I'm going by that, like who I see in the action scenes at the end. I feel like he might get taken out too.
Yeah, I agree. Well, hey, look, I'm excited about it, but it should be very interesting to see when it comes out in August. So I don't know if everyone else is a fan. It looks like Alento said John Cena is hilarious in his movies. And I say, what's up, Chris? I see Chris is out there as well. So moving along, let's get down to the first item from our fandom news. Everyone knows we reviewed the Justice League Snyder Cut, or Zack Snyder's Justice League last week. Since then, 2 million signatures requesting or demanding that Warner Brothers restore the Snyderverse. Tank, we'll start off with you. What say you about this? Will the fans win? And hello, Dark Eyes.
I hope we win. I mean, and I hope we do win. I hope it doesn't take another 4 years for us to win. But WB has been really adamant about they're done. Like they don't want any more. Like I don't know why they wouldn't, but they just. And I remember one of the execs was like he called out how like he called it the fans were like bullying and saying that we were that he didn't like how we were acting and how the fans were acting. So I mean, there's hope because it took a while for us to get the Snyder Cut. But with how adamant WB is being, like I don't recall them being this like against the Snyder Cut. They just kept saying it wasn't there or wasn't a thing. WB just seems like they just have no plans, have no want or desire to do it.
Gotcha. What are your thoughts, Danny? Do you think the Snyderverse movement to restore it is gonna make any traction with Warner Brothers?
Yeah, I agree with Tank only because I don't think the WB thought the reception was going to be what it was upon release. I think they were just in a situation where movies are being delayed and we have no new movies on the horizon other than what's been announced here. And they're trying to sell a subscription-based program like HBO Max. They have it in the can already. They already put in the money into this film. It needs a little bit more tweaking and they can push it out. So they say, why not give them this one time, just this one time, because studios typically do not do this. Let's just give it to them this one time to, number one, keep them quiet, and number two, we'll get more subscribers, worst case scenario. But I don't think they were prepared for the positive feedback that they're getting back from everybody. Now everybody's clamoring for more. This is unprecedented. I don't think I can ever think of in any recent history where a studio has actually given the fans what they want in these scenarios here. So I think they kind of painted themselves in a corner now because now you have this blockbuster hit on your subscription. People want more. Snyder says he's done. They don't want to move forward with this here. So I think we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. I think the compromise would be that if we can get maybe two separate universes where the Snyderverse is maintained maybe by Snyder himself if he wants to stay on board, or somebody else comes on board to kind of pilot that ship, and then they continue with their same plans, because we still have a Batman coming out with Robert Pattinson real soon. We have a whole bunch of other things that they've already have lined up, so the continuality is going to be very hard to manage. So I don't know what they're going to do, but David Ayer recently announced that he would like his own version of a director's cut, and that was shut down directly by WB when was asked about that. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's a tough one. I'd love to see more. I just don't know if we're going to get it.
It is. Here's my thoughts, and listen, I think you guys, you hit it on the head when you said that they were not expecting that this would happen, right? That it would be so successful. But one thing is for sure, we got to remember, this is big business. So somebody up there thought maybe we're going to make some money with subscriptions. It's a pandemic. This is an awesome time to make a huge splash with our HBO Max, specifically streaming, platform. So make no mistake, Warner Brothers is in the business to make money, right? And here's the thing, Warner Brothers is owned by AT&T, AT&T, they don't run movies. They never have. So in their minds, they're thinking, hey, let's do this. And I think that's what they ended up doing, because from what I understand, sources in the Hollywood Reporter, as well as Deadline Hollywood, have said numerous times that there was a big battle between HBO Max, Warner Media, and AT&T with regards to getting this director's cut approved. Now, remember, originally, the studio was only going to give $25 to $30 million. But we all said, there ain't no way. It's going to be way more money, because he had the he had the movie filmed, or rather everything was done,
right,
but no special effects at all. And that's where the money comes in, which is what we see, the $70 million. So for me, I think what ends up happening here is, I wouldn't be surprised if this continues, this groundswell of fan, just hysteria. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody says, wait, maybe we should try and do a nightmare scenario like trilogy, or maybe we make it a series, or focus on XYZ characters. I could see that happening. My opinion, I don't know anything. I'm merely speculating, but what do you guys think? You think they come up and say, hey, let's make it exclusive to HBO Max. We've already made a splash with the Snyder Cut. Why not make more movies or series a la Disney Plus with their Marvel extension of their movie characters? Thoughts?
Yeah, in regards to that, I mean, I would love for that to happen. I think right now Warner Brothers is thinking about the cost of movies like BVS, the feedback, and then obviously the Justice League situation. It's a whole nother beast in itself. But I would love for it to continue, like I said, in some form or way. I think since now we've all had a chance to kind of like realize that WB was attempting to be what Marvel was with their universe, and they did it way too fast. And now that we've already had this time to reflect on this year, and we've had good and bad Wonder Woman movies, a very successful Aquaman movie, a Flash movie that's coming on along the way, I would love for them, and maybe this is just maybe me, but I think you guys would agree with me here. I would love to see a Man of Steel 2. I would love to see a Man of Steel 2. I think Henry Cavill deserves it. This is going to be like his last time as a Man of Steel. I think he deserves a proper finale to his version of Superman. And I would also love to see Ben Affleck get his own solo movie. That was in the works, and he stepped away. He did not like how things happened on Justice League with the reshoots. He seems to be coming along to it because he's seen the response to everybody looking at the Snyder's Cut. I think this would be a great opportunity to go back to the drawing board, Man of Steel 2, and a proper Batman movie from that universe.
I don't think it ever happens. I don't think Man of Steel happens, in my opinion, only because, and I agree with you, I wish that would happen, but here's why I don't think it's going to happen in that respect. One, too much of a commitment from Warner Brothers to go in that route, spend millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on another Man of Steel, or rather Superman arc. I think what ends up happening is that if Henry Cavill reprises his Cavill, sorry, why did I say that? I know better.
You Frenched him up
his
a little
role,
bit there.
I know. Cavill. If Henry the Cavill, no, if Henry Cavill ends up doing Superman, the most likely landing point for a movie is Black Adam. The bottom line is that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has said it, and he is knocked on like loud and clear. I want Henry Cavill in Black Adam as Superman. So if anybody's going to make that happen, it will be him. Whether or not he comes back to reprise his role in further Justice League movies, if the Snyderverse is restored, or a standalone, is really questionable in my book, because one, he's getting old, you know what I mean? He's getting close to 40, and he's not there yet, but by the time these movies get made, he would be very much into his 40s. Two, they still want to continue rebooting the Superman universe with the J.J. Abrams Superman, which I don't believe it'll involve Superman. I think it'll be a new character from the reports that I'm hearing from various, Hollywood insiders. that this will be a new character made specifically in the Superman Kryptonian world. So that's just my opinion, but I do wish that what both of you guys said came to fruition, because it would be amazing. We deserve to have a Man of Steel 2, and you know what you call it? You simply call it Superman, because that's where he truly is Superman. You know, the whole arc was supposed to be Justice League 2, and then the final one would be Superman reclaiming his not throne, but his standing as the biggest hero of all time. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens.
I would love that. Hey, fantasy casting real quick though. And Tank, I want to ask you here first here. If, let's say, we do get Man of Steel 2, which, Clark, you already mentioned, the chances are very low. I still hold that hope. But, Tank, for you, if there was a Man of Steel 2, who would you like to see as the villain for that one?
Brainiac.
Tank, did we just become best friends?
I think so.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Clark, what about you? What did you think? Who would you pick?
Listen, you gentlemen may not know this because this is before you guys were probably in diapers, okay? But back when Superman 3 came out with Richard Pryor, for those of you that youngsters out there that didn't know, Superman, Christopher Reeve at the time, and Richard Pryor, one of the greatest comedians of all time, were in the same movie, and he was in a Superman movie. But that movie originally was going to involve Brainiac. So it's been so close, but yet so far. In fact, Superman Returns was going to have the sequel, to Superman Returns would involve Brainiac, but that never came into fruition as well. So I agree with you guys. Brainiac to me would be an amazing villain. He's always been an amazing villain. So for me, I would love to see that happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great points.
Throw in Metallo while you're at it. I want him a secondary villain too. Metallo? He's awesome. All right, good.
Metallico? Okay, all right. So let's go to the next topic, gentlemen. And first, let me just say, Dave, I see you. My brother, Mora, I see that you're engaging the chat room. Hernan, thank you for joining. Dark Eyes, I see you. I appreciate it. You are old enough, Alento. So is that your older sibling, Tank?
Yeah.
Because he's saying he was old enough to know about what these grown folks were talking about here about Superman and Richard Pryor.
Yes,
okay. So all right. So let's get down to the first of two reviews at the House of Fandom. So welcome to the house if you're just joining us. So let's talk about Captain America. I want to talk about Captain America, but let's talk about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Danny, your thoughts on the first two episodes? I've got a lot of thoughts in my mind. I'm curious what you and Tank have to say about these first two episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Winter Soldier and the Falcon, I said that backwards, Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I really like the show so far. I like what Marvel is doing with Disney Plus. I think it's smart strategy. You're focused on these secondary characters. You know, we just came off the big blow off in Endgame. Cap is gone. Spoilers, folks, for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. I'm sorry. It was a year ago. Get over it. But yeah, these characters really have been at Captain America's side the entire time, for the most part at least. And you know, we don't really know much about them other than they're just Captain America's best friends, I guess. I like the fact that this is now taking place during peacetime. And I also like the fact that we're getting to see other layers of what their problems are. As far as, you know, for Bucky, the Winter Soldier, he's now finally having a free moment to deal with his past and what all the stuff he had to do as the Winter Soldier. For Falcon, I mean, he's living in a world post Captain America. He doesn't know where he's at. He doesn't know what to do. He's unsure of himself, and we're getting a little bit more in depth of what it's like to be a superhero when you don't have to be a superhero. So, I like the pace of where the show is going right now. Per episode to episode, I like they're starting to come together, and now they have this new face now portraying Captain America, and it's kind of brought them together. So, just very interested to see where it goes. But I don't want to go into too much detail. I don't want to spoil anything that maybe you guys want to talk about too. Tank, you want to go first or Clark?
Go ahead, man.
Y'all go.
Take us along, and let's start off with this this face here of this guy. I have him on the screen right now. The new. I'll just, you know what? I'm not gonna steal your thunder, Tank, because I'm sure you have a lot to say about this guy.
Not my cap is what I. It's not my cap. Like,
what in the? Yeah,
especially like especially like the first scene at the end when like the mask looked like way too big for his head. I was like, what is that? And then like it was so yes, I mean so then they kind of he just seemed like he's trying too hard, which I guess that's what he's supposed to be doing. But one thing I did have to say, I was like, why does every Marvel like main hero have to have like? I mean, I'm all for representation of black people, but why do they all have to have a black sidekick?
Yeah,
and
Iron, good point.
Iron Man, Cap. This not my Cap. Captain Marvel.
That's true.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I was hoping that someone would bring it up because I certainly wanted to bring it up. But before we get into that, please remind me to talk about that because as we all know, if you've watched the first 2 episodes, there's plenty of topical stuff that was added in there, sprinkled in there to show how the Falcon is dealing with life post superhero fandom and everything else. Yeah. So, Tank, what are your thoughts with regards to the story so far? The first 2 episodes. Are you liking the production value and the things that are occurring in the first 2 episodes? Considering there's only 6 episodes in this season.
Yeah, I'm liking where the story is going. I like how they're doing what the movies really can't do, and like they're digging deep into like their personal lives, and also like with and going and kind of what they did with WandaVision, where they delved into like her grief and mental health. They're digging down into like Sam's doubt. Also, race issues that Sam has. Even being a superhero, he still has race issues. Like the one scene where he's like almost gets pulled over, and they don't stop until they realize he's the Falcon. They're also with Bucky feeling unworthy of the pardon and everything that he's gotten, or like the one scene where he was like maybe Cap was wrong about me if he's wrong about you. So I just like that they're digging deep down into their actual their personal feelings and lives and the struggles that they have. Because you're the superheroes, but they still have struggles.
Excuse me. Yeah, I agree with you with that whole everything that you mentioned. I do have concerns with the way Marvel treats characters of color in certain aspects. I did not like the way they treated. With the sidekicks, it was completely obvious. And the other thing that really bothered me is Falcon not gave up. He did not feel worthy, right, of taking on Captain's, mantle. Excuse me, that's a better way of saying it. But yet, we get. It's easy for another character to come in. I just feel like we're playing with like a lot of like parallels to like real life situations. I guess one, the police showing up, and the scene in the bank. Obviously we're talking about a TV show. We're talking about a superhero show. I felt like there were certain pieces that I thought were good to expose that, but I also felt like that it's becoming more like what are you trying to accomplish by showing that? You know what I mean? Like I don't get the narrative on it. What are your thoughts, Danny?
Yeah, I mean, you guys make some really good points, and to see them for what they are, you hit it on the head. How Marvel's portrayed these characters in their universe, being sidekicks and being sidekicks of color, no less. I think they're really doing something different here, and I think we have to give them the benefit of the doubt until we see a couple more episodes in to really figure out what their message is here. Keep in mind, at least according to comic books, I don't know if the show is going to follow the same narrative, but Captain America, the mantle of it will eventually go to Falcon. he will eventually become. So I don't know if they're going to do this or not. Maybe give it to Bucky. Who knows? There's present. They've both been Captain America at some point. I do believe that we will see the Falcon finally accept the mantle at the end of this year. I could be wrong, but I think, in my opinion, I think that's where it's going to go. And I think since we're going through this kind of change in our society, I think Marvel's taking the opportunity to really put a focus on it with the platform that they have. And I think they want to do it in an organic way through the show, because they do have this amazing character in Falcon that they are going to give more time to make him more of a priority going forward in their universe that they've created in the next phases moving forward. I think they want to show him more in a human way as opposed to portraying the hero side. Because if we look at how he was treated in that bank scene in the first episode, it's absolutely devastating. The guy who was in charge of possibly giving the loan absolutely loved him when he was talking to the Falcon. But when they were talking to him as a civilian, well, it was a different scenario. And you brought up the opportunity where they had the police come into play, still the Falcon, but they didn't realize he was the Falcon first, and then someone had to tell that officer that he was, and then look at it change. So I think this is going to be a very great story and what they're doing, and I think this is going to be something that's going to be really good for all races, and this is going to be a nice way. I think Marvel is going to start transitioning into more equality between not just the characters but the heroes that they portray, and bringing us together as a community. I think Black Panther was a great step in that direction. There was a lot of great response to that film, and now that R.I.P. Chad Boseman, we don't have him, I think it only makes sense that they're going to put more focus on the Falcon and make him that next standout hero for us, us minorities.
Yeah, and make no mistake, I'm not trying to say that Marvel doesn't have like the pulse of certain aspects of these characters and where they should head. However, Tank brought up a great point. Okay, so you're showing us all these other things, but yet you're still doing the same tropes that we've done before. The sidekick is a black guy. The sidekick is a Latino who happens to be, who I'm thinking of, Ant-Man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, so he brings up, Tank brings up a very, very great point when you consider, what he's saying. So I definitely understand that. And again, not to be political or anything like that. It's all about representation, in all aspects, right? Because we're all, looking for, hey, as a superhero, can I see this person in me? You know what I mean? And I think that's why we all love the superheroes the way we do, because it's that wish fulfillment, that opportunity to be like, hey, I could be Superman, right? I could be Wonder Woman. I could be Aquaman. I don't know who would want to, but I'm just kidding. All right, but you get it, right? He speaks to fish.
I'll be Jason Momoa, Aquaman.
Well, I'm not talking about Jason Momoa, okay? And Lisa Bonet.
Not the old Super Friends.
Right. He knows who I'm talking about. He's like, Aquaman. Talking to fish.
I don't think anybody likes Aquaman until Jason Momoa took the part.
Oh, man.
That was exactly
but really good stuff. But you know what? I definitely understand. Like, I from a show perspective, production value, very good. I thought it was very good. I know that there was some people that were not happy with the first episode, I believe it was, and then the second episode kicked up a little bit. I thought both episodes worked well for me. The other thing I will say is I don't like Captain America. I don't like his smug face. I don't like his attitude. And also don't like the way the mask fits on his head, because he's got a weird nose. And I'm sorry, I'm not shaming him, but it looks all kinds of weird. And he don't look like my Cap, period. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
One thing that was weird is like throughout the whole, like the whole show, the episode, he was all like trying to be all wholesome and I'm not trying to be a bad guy here. I'm not trying to take a spot. Then at the end, he just went asshole. It's like, stay out of our way. I'm like, where did that come from?
Right. And first of all, I personally think, I listen, you could call it a spoiler. I don't have any insider information on this film, or this series, but I have a feeling he's going to be a villain. My thoughts. Just my thoughts.
Yeah. his character in the comic book, he turns into a what the character called U.S. Agent,
Hmm.
which is pretty much like a a bad Captain America, bad version of Captain America.
Like a great value Captain America.
Very great value.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Which is what he looks like.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know, but like, I first of all think that the chemistry between Sebastian Shaw and the actor who plays Falcon,
Anthony
Mackie.
right, Mackie, apologize, I think is amazing. I think they have great chemistry, and so I think that is like, it makes me want to see both of them working together. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. I love it.
Because
Go ahead, Tank.
they hate each other, but they respect each other, and they had the same best friend.
Correct.
Who
Yeah.
they lost. So it's like they have that, like, like, I hate you, but I respect you, and my best friend liked you, so let's just get this done.
Exactly.
It's almost like they were competing to be the best friend, like in the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
You know?
In Civil War, yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I agree. So here's the thing, and I just wanted to say real quick, Alento, spot on your comments. I think we're going to need to get you on the show, and so that you could spout some of that fandom knowledge. Dark Eyes, I see what you said as well. Just so you guys know, she said, "I'm glad you said that because no offense, but none of y'all can be Jason Momoa." Thank you, Dark Eyes. We appreciate it. Thanks,
Ouch.
Captain Obvious.
That's it.
No Captain America pun.
And
And for those of you that are wondering, we don't have to kick Ray Davis out of the room. I know who Ray is. Ray's my buddy. He's just giving me a hard time. So that's okay. He can call me boring if he wants. But deep inside, we know that he came specifically to watch me. So, all right, boys. So where does this go from here? We only have about 4 more episodes. The next episode drops tomorrow, the 3rd episode, and we're halfway through the story arc. So where does this go from here? Danny, where does it go? And then Tank.
Well, I mean, we still need to figure out how Baron Zemo fits into this whole equation. So he's going to be making his return from the Captain America Winter Soldier film for this one here. And for those who remember what happened with him, I'm sorry, let me correct myself. I meant to say Civil War, not Winter Soldier.
It's okay. You're having a senior moment.
I know. I just had a birthday, so I feel like I'm definitely getting there now. I need to start watching my cholesterol and all that stuff. But yeah. But yeah, Civil War, Baron Zemo was the person that kind of broke up the Avengers, kind of split them up. And he had an interesting book on where he was able to tell Bucky commands to make him do these assassination things that he used to do. So it's interesting that he's the villain in this one here. We haven't seen him yet, and I'm curious to see if he still has that book and how that's going to play into it.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, that's a good. I mean, it's going to be a lot of ground to cover. Tank, what are your thoughts? How do you see this playing out?
First of all, I definitely, what Danny said before about wanting to, thinking that Sam was going to get the not knowing that Sam was going to get the shield. I think that's what this point of the series is. Like, it's going to be like the story of him realizing he is worthy to be Captain America and take the shield back. I think that's the whole, that's going to be the whole story. The story is Sam, Sam be doing that, and then also Bucky, redemption of believing that he is worthy of this new life he has.
Yeah, I agree.
I am curious to see how, because from the trailers, I thought Zemo was going to be like a full-on villain where he's going to be like a part of the flag smashers. I thought he was going to be like in charge of them or with them, but it seems like from the last episode, it seems like Bucky and Sam are going to get like advice from him. So I want to if interested to see like where that's going to go. I'm pretty sure he's still going to be a villain, and I'm also interested to see the interaction between him and Bucky and if he's going to try the whole the
like hypnosis with the book.
Yeah, the hypnosis. I want to see if he's going to try the hypnosis, and then Bucky just going to sit there and look at him like, that don't work no more, son.
and I gotta say, the actor does an amazing job of really, conveying the PTSD, the post-traumatic stress that he has suffered from. We got to remember, it wasn't Bucky who killed, Iron Man's parents. It wasn't Bucky who killed all those people. He was programmed, and he was brainwashed. So I really don't hold that to him, but I know that he really suffers. I think for me the most moving part was with the with his friend in the beginning of the film, the older Asian man, and like knowing that he killed his son. That to me was powerful, and just really. It hit, man. That was rough, man. That was rough.
Yeah.
But good stuff. I like where it's headed. I thought the action scenes are great. I love the flying scenes with Falcon, and I love the way they have executed the production. Has been so far so good. So I am definitely looking forward to it. I think Alento said that he wants to see the Winter Soldier in action, not Bucky. So I don't know. Maybe we get a good Winter Soldier and not a Bucky.
Like
right? Exactly. A hybrid.
A happy medium.
Right. A happy medium. You know,
the badassness of Winter Soldier, but not the killing part of Winter Soldier.
And for those of you that jumped on the Marvel bandwagon. After the first Captain America, Bucky was Captain America's best friend. Bucky was the one that prevented him from being bullied when Captain America was this weakling, And so, Bucky Barnes, amazing character, been through a lot of schniz, and, he still is, but, great character arcs. Okay, wrapping it up, we'll continue our coverage with the Winter Soldier, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming up next week. But let's get into the main Smackdown review of the week. Everybody, let's talk about Godzilla versus Kong. And let me tell you, that movie is going to be talked about for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons won't be about this right here. I don't know if you guys see it, but this is the original 1962 version. And I don't know about you guys, but that's some savage shit that King Kong is shoving a tree down Godzilla's throat. That is some savagery right there. That is some gangsta. Yo, he is playing dirty. Kong is playing dirty. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but that's some dirty shit. But getting back to this movie right here, what do you guys think of Godzilla versus Kong? Let's kick it off. Tank, what did you think of Godzilla versus Kong? And let's talk through how it ranks amongst the other MonsterVerse movies.
Honestly, I mean, the scenes with Kong and them fighting, I love those scenes. The fights was dope. The one scene where Kong went into like the little monster world, that was beautiful. But all the human parts and all the unnecessary expeditions, I could have did without that. Just going to be honest. All right.
Short but sweet. Danny, your thoughts? And then we'll go back to Tank.
This would be the perfect movie if we just had Godzilla and Kong fighting the whole thing and just had no humans at all.
So we want the tree, the tree shoving down Godzilla.
Why not?
Why not? Right?
Why not?
Over the
let's just throw the trees. Okay, so Danny, you enjoyed it, yes?
Absolutely.
Okay. This question goes to both of you. Godzilla was the first one that came out in 2014. When you compare this to Godzilla, I think it's, for me at least, it's like comparing like a drama to an action movie. Godzilla, the 2014 version, very drama, very much like I think there was only 5 minutes of Godzilla. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but very little screen time.
It took an hour and 17 minutes for us to even see Godzilla.
Correct.
So I just rewatched it.
All right, so you know what I'm talking about. Then we go and skip to the next Kaiju movie in the Kaiju universe. For those of you that lingo is for like the MonsterVerse, So if we're looking at Kong Skull Island, I really enjoyed Kong Skull Island. I thought it was brisk. I thought it was a perfect pace. You got Samuel L. Jackson, so you have a strong, lead actor.
John C. Reilly was hilarious.
Yep, absolutely. Had heart. I really enjoyed Kong Skull Island. But then we got Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and I want to be honest with you. When I saw the trailers, I said, all right. We got Godzilla. We got his homie, Rodan. We got his girlfriend, Mothra. We got we got probably the biggest baddie of them all, at least second biggest baddie, because we're going to talk about the baddie of this one, of Kong versus Godzilla. But talking about the Hydra, the three-headed dragon, Monster Zero, I was so excited to watch this movie, and then I ended up watching Godzilla King of the Monsters, and I was bored. And you never want to be bored when watching a bunch of monsters beat the living schniz out of each other. Did you feel the same? I see you're nodding at me, Tank. Were you nodding off as well when you were watching Godzilla King of the Monsters?
I was bored with both of them. Both Godzilla, just the regular Godzilla and King of Monsters. The only one I wasn't bored with was Skull Island.
Right.
Like, even like I said, Godzilla took an hour and 17 minutes for him to show up, and then he was for a second. And then we got like, let's say, maybe 20 minutes, if that, of Godzilla in that whole movie. King of Monsters, it took 42 minutes for Godzilla to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got beat so bad he was gone for another 30 minutes. I'm like, this movie should not be called Godzilla. It's very little. This would be humans with a random big lizard.
Yes, I agree. Danny, did you watch Godzilla King of the Monsters, the one with Monster Zero?
I did, yes. Yeah, so I mean, I echo the same thing Tank's been saying about that. If I had to choose between the two Godzilla movies, I say I like the first one more. Only because, I mean, yeah, Godzilla wasn't in it a lot, but it was kind of cool to have that mystique because they didn't know what they were dealing with in that first movie. But by the second one, I felt like, okay, it should be like the old movies from back in the day where Godzilla's just tearing everything up. And they insisted on putting more human characters in. They put a subplot about two parents and their kid who happens to be the kid from what you call that Netflix show. What's it called? I can't think of the name. Stranger Things. Thank you. I think was it 7? Is their name in that show?
Yeah, 11.
7.
Yeah,
Right?
11.
11. 7. Yeah, 7-11. Like I said.
You ain't right, bro.
But,
you ain't right. This is the House of Fandom, not the House of Fakedom. Come on, bro. They're gonna eat us alive that you said 7-11. Go ahead. I'm just kidding.
But bottom line is, like, I didn't need that extra subplot. I mean, I think we kind of covered, okay, the mystery of Godzilla. We didn't need to I just wanted to get to fighting. And that's kind of like how my feeling was about this movie. When the fighting was on, I had goosebumps. It was awesome. When they stopped and focused back on the humans again, like they did in Godzilla and Godzilla King of the Monsters, it lost my interest. It just lost my interest. And it's a shame because, I mean, if the characters were more appealing than human ones I'm referring to, I'd be okay with it. But they were all born. And I know that girl 11 is actually a really good actress. Who I'm thinking about. We had Bryan Cranston.
Millie Bobby Brown is the actress. Yep.
Yep. Billy Bob. Gotta have fun with it, man. Come on.
Keep going.
Come on. Anyway.
This guy. All right. So
my point is that you've had some really good actors in these movies. Bryan Cranston, Breaking Bad, right? From the first movie. You had Scarlet Witch was in that movie. Which I completely forgot about.
Quicksilver. Quicksilver.
And that was husband and wife, so it was so weird seeing that.
Yeah. I said the same thing. It was weird.
But my point is, like, you got great actors. The story is not that appealing when it comes to the human side. If there's better writing, be a different story. But if it's not working, you can't figure out these human characters you want us to invest in. Just take them out and just let them fight, and I'm good with that.
So, okay. First, let me just say I value both of your opinion with regards to this, and I have to tell you that there were many points that I did agree with. However, I will say this much. This movie was about an hour and 54 minutes long, one of the shortest in time. 2, I thought this movie ran very briskly. It went right to, literally within 5 minutes, Godzilla was destroying Pensacola, the coast of Pensacola, okay? Then from there, it jumped from one action set piece to another. Now, you got to keep in mind, you got to have some coherent story. Otherwise, we're going to be on YouTube. Hold on. Wait for it. Watching these two guys again, which is the tree, Kong shoving down the tree. So, my point, I don't know why I like this scene. I think it's so weird and just awkward, but crazy. Like, all we know is Kong fights dirty. I'm telling you right now, Kong fights dirty, all right? But what I really enjoy, right, and getting back to the movie, was that there was many points of this movie that had better characters in it. For example, the little girl with Kong.
Yes, I will agree on that.
That was a really good character. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing, the guy who was the Roswell conspiracy theorist, Bernie, who his mom, his wife passed away from an attack. Right. I enjoyed his character. I thought it was a little a little caricature at times, but I'm glad that they had, a character that we could kind of relate to, in the sense that we know that there's people that are doing things they shouldn't be doing, that kind of thing. And I also enjoyed all the scenes where they were going into that hollow earth and like kind of like the world that time forgot. I thought that was really cool. It wasn't done in any of the other films as far as like the most recent ones. And I thought it was really cool the way they did that with using the technology. And I also thought that, like again, it was going like, bro, the pace of this movie was really good. Now, that being said, we did not pay to watch humans interact like Shakespeare. What we want is a bunch of monsters kicking each other's asses and handing themselves a bottle and throwing it over their heads and cracking heads.
I did not come to Godzilla and King Kong for Billy Bob.
Correct. Or Millie Bobby Brown. Millie Bobby Brown. So I agree. I agree in that respect. But I will say, by far, the best rated, it's over 80% Rotten Tomatoes score. Not that that means anything. I could wipe my ass with Rotten Tomatoes. But I will tell you. I will tell you, that was really disgusting, wasn't it? Because I was thinking like, I saw what you did there, Rotten Tomatoes, but it's really not. It's I got you. But my whole thing is, I did not at all think that it dragged, but I did not feel any kind of love for the characters. I was just like, let's move it on. Let's move it on. Like, for example, did you guys know that the guy that was controlling the villain, which we haven't revealed yet? So if you haven't watched the movie, we're going to reveal the real villain of this movie, the real villain monster. So you have one more option to walk away from your listening device. But I will say that I was surprised that was the character from the first Godzilla, Godzilla King of the Monsters, where the scientist who gave himself, went down to the dunes, the Asian character, that old man, Ken Wantabe, the actor. That was his son, who was mind controlling Mecha Godzilla. The big baddie of the movie is not Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus Kong. They were just having a lover's quarrel. It was actually Mecha Godzilla.
Wait, so back that up for 1 second here. So the character that Ben Watanabe, whatever how you pronounce that there. Ben Watanabe. Okay.
Ken.
Thank you.
Ken.
Oh, Ken?
Yes. With a K, like Barbie.
Sound it out better. Okay. Anyway, so his character, you're saying that was his son?
Correct.
In the second one?
Right, but if I wouldn't have read up on it, I would not have known that.
I saw it. I didn't see that.
Exactly.
I didn't even know that part. Okay.
And so
interesting.
Mecha Godzilla was basically being controlled with the help of, you ready for this? The decapitated head of Monster Zero that they found, right? And so when Mecha Godzilla starts to become self-aware, he basically kills the two guys that were there, and then basically is being controlled by, instead of the human, which is the son of Ken Wantabe, but actually Monster Zero. Now, all of this doesn't mean jack shit if you just came to watch monsters beat the shit out of each other, pardon the expression, right?
Right.
But you know what, that kind of makes my point about like the characters being not necessary in that, because had you not told me that was his son, the story didn't help me understand who he was if I saw the other ones. Like that actor was really good. I like him, and I love him in The Last Samurai. All right, so he's a phenomenal actor. But I did not know that was actually his son. If had I known that, maybe I would have had a more attachment to some of these characters that they were playing here. But I mean, I would say the little girl, super cute, adorable. That relationship she has with Kong is amazing. Bernie on that side, I feel like we had a Kong team and we had a Godzilla team on the human side. I think the Kong side was a lot more compelling, a lot more emotional connection to.
I agree.
The Godzilla folks, I mean, Millie Bobby Brown.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. She was not great in the first movie I saw her in Kings of the Monsters, King of the Monsters, and she was not any more appealing in this one here. She got outshined by the guy named Bernie, who was a conspiracy theorist. I thought he was awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe my point being is like, hey, they're okay. They service the plot as a whole. I just felt like when specifically the Godzilla side of the team, the human side game, when they came in, it's a lot more talking, it's a lot more exposition. And it's like, can we just get back to Kong Godzilla? When it came to like the Kong side, you felt for them. She has an emotional connection. Kong saved her in the movie when her tribe was kind of taken away from Skull Island originally. She had a great connection to the Rebecca Hall. I'm starting to get it. Rebecca Hall, who kind of takes her in. She's great in this movie. I think the other doctor, what's his name?
He was from True Blood.
Yes,
and Tarzan.
Skarsgård or something like that.
He is one of the. He is the family of. Let me just put it this way. I'll just tell you the characters. His old man was in Thor and helped out Thor as a scientist, and then his brother is the clown, the most current one, and then he is the guy from True Blood. So there you go.
And Tarzan. He was Tarzan.
And Tarzan. All the Scarsdale brothers. Those are those guys. So, but you know what though? I liked his character. And real quick, some other observations. I like that the villains got killed real quickly. Like I hate it when the villains escape or like whatever. I love the way they killed the lady, the daughter, and they killed the guy, and the Mecha Godzilla got woken and started cracking heads. Now, be honest. Kong got his ass kicked, bro. Like Godzilla, gave him a beating.
Giving him hands.
Like he gave him a beat.
He was nothing without that storm.
He got a beating.
And then at the end, he gave him that you ain't even
right.
Look.
First of all, Godzilla gave him a beating. I mean, it was so bad that Godzilla was like, you know what? I'm not even going to kill you because I gave you such a beating that it's embarrassing. That to me tells me something.
Pathetic.
That was crazy. That was really crazy. Now, that being said, Kong has some good moves as well. However,
I got hands. You got hands.
He does. However, the problem with Kong is that he ain't got no superpowers. He ain't got atomic breath. He ain't got like radiation therapy or whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to be honest with you. Godzilla also was playing dirty too. Godzilla bit him. That's not cool. I don't like the biting. He didn't have to bite him in the water. That was not cool in the beginning when they were fighting on the aircraft carrier.
In a street fight.
It was like, it was dirty. But then Kong also played dirty too because Kong was also, 1 second. Hold on. Wait for it. Kong was also throwing down and shoving something in his throat. Now, from what I heard, this was an homage to this scene right here, where Godzilla Kong shoves a tree down Godzilla's throat. But he does something crazier in the movie. I don't know exactly what it was, but from what I heard, I think it was like part of the building he was shoving in his mouth. I don't know. But watch it again. They said that it was actually a homage to when Godzilla got the tree and shoved it down his throat. So, but they both were fighting dirty. But let me tell you, when Godzilla was taking his hoof or his whatever you want to call it and just cranking down on the dude's heart, on Kong's heart, that was savage.
You're going to the end fight. Let's start from the first. I want to talk about that one. I want to talk about the one on the carrier where Kong is on the water. I like that one a lot. I mean, I thought that was a really cool concept. I mean, I thought Kong fighting on a helicarrier was amazing. And I mean, he was totally outmatched, but he
couldn't swim.
He kind of did his thing.
He couldn't swim. I mean,
I think he could.
Well, no, but not like. But remember, Godzilla is aquatic. Godzilla can like hang out and live in the water. Kong did not have that. He was trying to breathe and he was struggling. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I thought that was an amazing set piece. I thought the special effects, and we didn't talk about that. I thought the CGI or whatever you want to call it. I thought it was executed on a grand scale, and I really, really enjoyed it. I really did. But
especially the
yes,
the other world, the underworld. That whole
Thank you.
world was beautiful.
yes, thank you. I thought that was so cool the way they executed the underworld, or excuse me, the hollow world, and the way they made it to where there was other dinosaurs there, or prehistoric creatures. I really enjoyed it a lot, and I do love the spaceship technology and the way the lights were and everything. I thought that was pretty awesome, and I also enjoyed the set piece at the end in, I believe it was Hong Kong or wherever they were fighting, where everything was like neon and everything. I thought that was awesome. But that was even before we got to the main villain fight when Mecha Godzilla came.
I have a question. Do you think? I mean, it's long. Do you think that it could have benefited from another Kong movie in between? Because the last one was like way back in like the day, and like we don't know how Kong got to the point like where he's like in that little, or how they had him like caged up or whatever.
That bubble kind of.
Bubble. I think they could have. I think they could have done another one, but I think the few problems we had, the pandemic, because originally this movie was supposed to be released last year at this time. So you have another year delay, you know what I mean? And so there's, I think, a lot of things that play into it. But the other thing you have to consider as well is that when you make these movies, you're trying to lead to a overall endgame arc, right? Which is this Kong versus Godzilla. It should have been Godzilla got top billing, Godzilla versus Kong. But to me, this was Kong's movie, okay? With a supporting starring role from Godzilla, and then the big baddie Mecha Godzilla. You know what I mean? That's my thought.
That's good. That's an excellent point there, Clark. I mean, just kind of across the board. Let's do a little quick round robin. Ooh, you got me saying that wrong now. But let's ask, like, before you saw the movie, who were you guys initially rooting for?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tank.
Like Kong, because like the trailers made it look like Kong gave more hands than he really did.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's true.
Kong got a beating. I'm sorry. He got a beat.
Oh yeah, he did. But the trailers made it seem like Kong was doing the beating. But no, that's not what happened. But I was going for Kong. I was rooting for Kong more so than Giant Lizard.
So was I.
Yeah. The Geico commercial's older brother.
Yeah.
So was I. Listen, I was rooting for a Smackdown, but a couple of things that didn't come to fruition. Originally, reports were saying that the Godzilla that they had was actually Mecha Godzilla in disguise, because in the 70s when they made Mecha Godzilla, the way they made Mecha Godzilla, they used skin, like a fake skin, and then he was exposed to be the real Mecha Godzilla, not the real Godzilla. But one thing I'm still unsure about is how the hell was Godzilla going batshit crazy for most of the movie? What happened? Like, was he being mind controlled? Because I don't recall how that.
Yeah.
So it was like he was. I think he sensed that they were creating Mecha Godzilla, and he probably sensed that they were using Monster Zero's head to create it. So I think but he probably couldn't figure out exactly where it was. He just sensed it.
Plus, I mean, we got to remember, they're not going to be looking for a little ant human. Oh, I'm sorry, I stepped on you. Oops, pardon me. No, I'm not looking for you. No, I don't think that. Yeah, so he basically wasn't being mind controlled, because I thought, is this mind control? Why the F is he going crazy? But it's more instinctual. So that makes sense. That makes sense. Like, it was more like territorial, instinctual, and that's why he went batshit crazy.
I know you're around here somewhere.
Yeah, I know you here. I'm gonna get you.
Basically.
So that was interesting. All right. So when everything is said and done, I personally liked it. I thought it was a great movie, a great popcorn movie. Check all kind of, like, what is that called? Don't look for this movie to have a basic, huge plot, and don't look for character development. Just look for a bunch of ass-kicking monsters and a battle royale. And I thought the ending with Mecha Godzilla was pretty awesome. Did you like it, Danny?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I've been saying since we've been talking about, like, I really enjoyed the Godzilla and Kong interactions. That was absolutely what I needed that. That felt like something you definitely would 100% pay money to go to the theater to watch. Big screen, surround sound, all the effects going off. I mean, between the fight on land and at the ending, and then on the first one that was on the Hellcarrier, that was just awesome. And honestly, you already talked about this one here, Clark. The CGI was fantastic. I mean, we saw the evolution. If you've seen all three, like we have seen both Godzilla movies and the Kong, they were really good, but this was even better than that. And yeah, I mean, I absolutely love this movie. I've already said my piece. Less Billy Bob, more Godzilla and Kong, but that's just me and my opinion there.
Tank, what's the final word for you on this movie?
I mean, like I said, like the scenes with the fights, the fight scenes with Godzilla, Kong, and Mechagodzilla, those are great. I like the Hollow World, as you called it. That was good. The first fight scene was great. I like that because the first Godzilla's movies, they were all like the fights were all at night, so it's kind of hard. It wasn't as easy to keep track of. They did that. So that this one, like even the one night scene, it was still like you could see more.
I agree.
Probably because of the CGI.
The direction was great, I think. Yeah.
The Mechagodzilla was throwing hands, like even about whooping a Godzilla's ass.
Yo, that was crazy right there, and it definitely took both of them. But I do agree at the end, Godzilla did give him I basically showed you at the end because let's be honest, Godzilla was definitely not a fair winner. He wasn't like hey man, let me shake your hand and do a Godzilla dance. You know what I mean? He was basically looking at him going, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the help.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But don't forget what just happened before he came.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. But yeah, I thought it was good. I think we'll see more of these movies. Quick antidote: the movie has made big money, and overseas last week it made over $130 million, and then $130 million, and then overnight 10 million in the United States, which is a record for pandemic level box office. Now we got to remember something. This movie is available on HBO Max and it's in the theaters, so people are wanting to see it in the theaters too, and they're watching it in HBO Max. So it's a win-win situation for not just theater goers, but for theater owners, because we know that it's been a struggle as well. So I enjoyed it. On the horizon, gentlemen, we've got a lot to talk about. We need to continue to talk about the Winter Soldier, but I know you boys are thinking of a movie that's going to be coming up soon that unfortunately got delayed by a week because you know what? Movie studios don't give a shit anymore. They're just like, yeah, we'll delay it a week. So what movie are you guys excited about that I keep teasing?
Oh, it's got to be Mortal Kombat, 100%.
100%. So are you guys thinking this is going to be as badass as the trailer suggests?
I think it's going to be better.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like they're going, more authentic with the comics. Like I said, the first one way back in the day, that was good, but it wasn't. It was good for back then. It wasn't 100% authentic to comics. I think it's like they're going 100% authentic. They're it's rated R, so they're going to do fatalities. They're probably not going to go as brutal as the games go. But from what I've seen, like it just definitely seems like they're not going to hold back. They're not going to hold back any punches.
So will it have the song "Mortal Kombat" in it?
Clark, don't sit there. Stop it. Stop it now. Someone scored him with like some water or something. Stop.
It better have the song in there.
I hope so. It does.
Absolutely. Well, listen, we got a lot more to talk about, but we're gonna have to save it for the next episode of the House of Fandom. We've got a few things that we want to clear up before we move on to close out our show. One, if you haven't hit that like button, please do that. It actually helps. It helps with the algorithm. It helps with YouTube deciding if they want us to keep doing what we're doing. The other thing I was going to say was hit the like button, but tell people about us. We're continuing to grow. We just started Lights Up Production. This channel started back in January. This is a very much a fresh startup channel, and between Townie Sports with Vic and Sammy, and House of Fandom with myself, Clark, with Danny, with Tank, with our correspondent host who is he's on assignment somewhere in diaper duty land, Kyle, who will continue to provide correspondent work and, come in from time to time to do interviews. We continue to grow. So we just look forward to providing you guys with great content, but mostly talking about fandom from people just like you who are just viewers and guys that just guys and gals who just love movies, love talking about like DC, Marvel, all kinds of stuff, collectibles. We have so much stuff that we are looking forward to bring to you in the upcoming months and throughout the year. Danny, final thoughts?
Yeah, I really do want to take a second to kind of piggyback on what you just said there, Clark. It's absolutely amazing. Number one, I just want to say thank you guys all for supporting us who've been with us from the beginning. Myself and Tank, we've just got on board with Lights Up Production, House of Fandom, and we appreciate the support you've been giving us there. This is my first opportunity to thank you guys directly. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, we're a startup, but we definitely we're growing, we're getting better, and I think we're finally finding our groove here, if you will. And just stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more stuff on the horizon that's just going to make it a lot more appealing to everybody, and it's going to have a lot more options. And we want to be the one-stop shop for all your YouTube channels. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, share if you can, and we'll be back, and we'll be better next time. You can guarantee that.
Tank, the man with few words. Any final cosmic thoughts?
Kind of piggyback on y'all, thank everybody for who's been listening, who keeps listening. Also, so you haven't subscribed, share us with your family and friends, have them subscribe as well, and just keep enjoying the content. We're gonna keep coming back. I'm having a blast doing this. I want to thank you, Nodi, for being known over to the team. So la la la.
Hey, I'm with you too, man. I get so listen. I feel like I get tongue tied because I've talked so damn much. But it's nice when you guys start talking too much. But I see what happens. It's like poor Tank. We get him to talk more than a few words, and it's like, damn it, where's my damn water? Where's my damn water? So no, it's all good, man. Hey, real quick, I do want to say to the listeners in the chat room, thank you so much. I see you guys. We see you guys. Alento, I feel like you're an extension of the show. Thank you. Mora, our great, awesome moderator. Thank you to the listeners who came in today. Thank you to Dark Eyes. Thank you to Hernan. Thank you to Dave. Thank you to all of the listeners who who came in and just showed us some love out there. We appreciate you. And thank you again for tuning in to the House of Fandom. Once again, have a great night, everybody, and enjoy the music from Sandstorm.
Hey, Sandstorm. Yeah, put your hands up. Let's go. Bob your head to this. SC Capchi. Hey, it's me. Starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy, I'm starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, I'm starting on my grizzy, Come in the club, yeah, I'm high as height. Seeing all the flashing lights, it's Vegas night. Step through, suited up like a crime fight. You know that I wanna leave with a dime, right? Spanish, Latina, tengo la llave. Wanna roll cap G, you can come find me. VIP drinks free, that's where I be. Yeah, I roll with them boys, not Tommy. Straight tone, got me in the zone. You texting your man, once you get off the phone. I'm in here looking for a dime to bone and tell him I can spit on some reggaeton. Starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy. You know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy. Yeah, you know how I do, yeah, starting on my grizzy. Starting on my grizzy, I'm starting on my grizzy, starting on my grizzy, I'm starting on my grizzy,
Oye, dime quién responde, ese culo tuyo enorme. Freca necia, cara bonita, labio de fresa. Y yo vine para atrás, chequea este flow que te no he copiado nada. Avisando on my greasy, tengo un par de tipas que no lo fuerza tan easy. Dame un beso, olvídate de eso, lo que quiero es sexo. Estoy en el bloque, prendo un Dodge y me voy en el coche. Regresé con mi equipo blanco, peligroso, no perico. A lot of niggas con mi chico. Cara bonita, no sencillo. Muchos me dicen clásico, es peligroso, un maniático. Y todos ustedes son mi hijo, cause I make it look easy, frito.
Stuntin' on my grizzly, stuntin' on my grizzly, yeah. You know how I do it, yeah. Stuntin' on my grizzly, stuntin' on my grizzly, yeah. Stuntin' on my grizzly, yeah. You know how I do it, yeah. Stuntin' on my grizzly, stuntin' on my grizzly, stuntin' on my grizzly. You know how I do it, yeah. Stuntin' on my grizzly, stuntin' on my grizzly, stuntin' on my grizzly, yeah. You know how I do it, yeah. Stuntin' on my grizzly, stuntin' on my grizzly, I'm stuntin' on my grizzly, yeah. Stuntin' on my grizzly, I'm stuntin' on my grizzly,
Yeah.
Hey, class, they ain't hear nothing like this.
Hell no, my nigga.
Yeah. That's when the different cultures collide.
They know.
Yeah. Sandstorm, classic gold. Yeah, man. Shout out to Cam, Daryl, oh boy Matt, D Money, Single Dollar, the whole Skywalking crew. Hey, what up, Bangs? We here now,
Yes, we are.
so come find us.
Yeah.
Tú lo sabes.
We're the building. SC got cheese, nigga. If you don't like it,